Today's news highlights 20250714. Date July 14, 2025. July 14, 114, Republic of China. Time cutoff time, 1500 hours on the same day. News highlights: the 61-year-old Brad Pitt showed ageless charm in F1 movie, but played a veteran driver but maintained like a 40-year-old. He created his own skincare brand, Beau Domain, which emphasizes the 3 steps of simple maintenance: face wash, serum, and day cream, and sticks to it for a long time. Pete also shared that the key to anti-aging is to live a healthy life, such as washing your face with ice water, exercising moderately, and having good social and eating habits. The doctor reminded that the water temperature and time should be controlled for ice water maintenance, and suggested that more interaction with people and participation in community activities can help delay aging and promote physical and mental health. News highlights: there is a new person with dementia every 3 seconds in the world, and a Dutch study has shown that aerobic exercise such as cycling can promote the secretion of neurotrophic factors in the brain and reduce the risk of dementia and cognitive deterioration by up to 35%. In the Netherlands, the Silver Cycling Program and Active Aging Policy encourage the elderly to ride daily, which not only improves blood circulation and brain function, but also maintains social interaction and mobility, providing an effective lifestyle for the elderly society to prevent dementia. News highlights: Hong Kong 41, the largest military exercise of the Republic of China of the year, began on July 9 and lasted for 10 days and 9 nights, mobilizing a record 22,000 reservists. Based on the hypothetical scenario that the CCP may use force against Taiwan by 2027, the exercise was included for the first time in the Gray Zone operational test, simulating non-traditional threats such as drone interference with Taiwan, cyber attacks, and cognitive warfare. For the first time, the exercise was extended to the civilian sector, and for the first time, supermarkets, local governments, and enterprises were involved in the Urban Resilience Air Defense exercise to implement the concept of national defense. The whole Taiwan sub-district conducted an air defense drill, emphasizing the cooperation of the whole people to enhance the resilience of the whole people, and demonstrating the determination of Taiwan's society to transform into a model of protracted resistance for all. News highlights: Israel's Ministry of Defense has suspended the distribution of BID and other vehicles to military officers due to concerns about the security risks associated with China's electric vehicles, and has turned off its automatic communication function. Experts warn that Chinese-made smart cars could become mobile spy platforms that can collect voice, video, and location data and transmit them back to China. Given that Chinese companies are mostly controlled by the state and are required by law to cooperate with intelligence agencies, the global vigilance against Chinese-made equipment has increased. The United States and other countries have also adopted bans and high tariff restrictions to prevent technology penetration from threatening national security. News highlights: in recent years, a large number of mainland enterprises have flocked to Hong Kong, accelerating the transformation of the city's business ecology in a wide range of industries, from chain restaurants to technology and retail. The traffic of Prince Noodle Restaurant, a long-established restaurant in Tsim Sha Tsui, has dropped sharply due to the nearby mainland chain Wo Lau Main, reflecting the fact that domestic enterprises are seizing the market with their advantages in capital and decoration. In 2024, Hong Kong's new mainland enterprises will surpass foreign investment for the first time. Experts warn that this trend could undermine Hong Kong's economic diversity and uniqueness and deepen its dependence on Beijing. News highlights: the Environmental Jobs Group, EWG, has released a list of the 12 dirtiest fruits and vegetables and 15 cleanest fruits and vegetables for 2025, based on more than 50,000 pesticide data. Spinach, strawberries, blackberries, and potatoes are on the list of dirtiest fruits and vegetables due to pesticide residues, so it is recommended to buy organic. Thick-skinned fruits and vegetables such as avocados, bananas, and cauliflower are classified as the cleanest and have a low pesticide risk. Experts remind that fruits and vegetables are still the key to health, and they can be eaten with peace of mind if they are washed and selected correctly, and should not be reduced due to pesticide problems. News highlights: in 2024, Samsung will take the lead in launching a built-in AI feature phone, and in 2025, the Galaxy S25 series will be equipped with a number of AI technologies, helping Samsung regain the global mobile phone market share. Samsung emphasizes AI cross-app integration and localized voice assistance, especially training traditional Chinese and Taiwanese language to improve user experience. In addition, Samsung is in talks with AI startup Perplexity to integrate AI assistants and search engines to get rid of its dependence on Google. Samsung has also launched the open-source AI assistant client to accelerate development, showing that it is actively expanding the layout of AI mobile phones, and strives to continue to lead in this technology race. News highlights: Taiwan will officially promote the TISA Taiwan Individual Investment Savings Account in July 2025, referring to Japan's NISA system, encouraging people to invest in exclusive funds with low thresholds, low fees, and long-term regular fixed amounts to accumulate retirement assets. The first wave of 11 investment trusts and 22 funds participated, and investors can enjoy zero handling fees and manager fees less than 1% for 24 consecutive months. With its emphasis on sound investment and institutional incentives, the TISA system is suitable for all people who want to prepare for retirement. News highlights: in recent years, the price of gold has soared, triggering fraud syndicates to set up schemes under the guise of investing in gold, including fake dating, fake platforms and group brainwashing, and even engineers and housewives have been victimized. Taichung Fengjai Yuan's family of 5 was suspected of falling into huge debts due to gold purchasing fraud, and finally went to a dead end, and the society was shocked. The police reminded investors to verify the authenticity of the platform and avoid listening to the recommendations of strangers. Gold fraud cases have been frequent in recent years, calling on the public to be vigilant and prudent in managing their finances. News highlights: in 2025, Samsung will launch the Galaxy S25, Z Fold-7 and Z Flip-7 folding flagships equipped with the latest AI functions, successfully regaining the first place in the global market share. Samsung emphasizes AI cross-app integration and localized voice assistance, especially training to recognize Taiwanese language and improve the user experience. In order to reduce its dependence on Google AI, Samsung is discussing cooperation with AI startup Perplexity, and expanding cooperation with OpenAI, Microsoft, Meta, and other parties, showing a diversified strategy. Samsung also launched Klein, an open-source AI program assistant, to accelerate internal development efficiency and consolidate its leading position in the AI mobile phone market. News highlights: US President Donald Trump's recent announcement of higher tariffs on Canadian, Mexican, and European Union products exceeded market expectations, showing that his patience in negotiations has weakened and he has shifted to unilateral tariff rates, causing investors to worry about the impact of trade policies on global markets. Wall Street has warned that Trump's tariff policy, pressure on the Federal Reserve and widening fiscal deficit could trigger market turmoil. Although some analysts believe that Trump may only increase the pressure of tariffs, investors are concerned that he may stick to high tariffs, and market uncertainty has increased. News highlights: Daiwa Capital's latest report is optimistic about the AI server market, pointing out that NVIDIA NVL72 mass production went smoothly in the second quarter, and it is expected to switch to GB300 in the third quarter, and Amazon demand is strong. 8 Taiwan factories are recommended, with Xinhua, Delta Electric, and Weiying as the first choice, and Honhai, Quanta, Zhaibang, Jingxiangdian, and Jias as buying. Xinhua's revenue in June increased by 55% year-on-year, and Delta Power is expected to grow in the third quarter due to limited impact on exchange rates. Weiying ASIC server shipments rose, and the outlook for the second half of the year is optimistic. Shipments of Honhai and Quanta's AI servers continued to be booming, and Jingxiang Electric and Jias also showed steady growth momentum. News highlights: in the past few months, the market believes that Trump is using tariffs as bargaining chips, but the New York Times analysis shows that Trump is seriously pursuing punitive tariffs, and even if he reaches an agreement with India, Taiwan, and other countries, he may still retain high tariffs. Negotiations between Taiwan and the United States have entered a critical stage, and we hope to complete the agreement by August. Trump emphasized tariff revenues, which supporters believe protect the U.S. market. According to a Yale University study, the average U.S. tariff has reached 18.7%, the highest since 1933, proving the Trump administration's preference for trade protectionism. But U.S. companies warn that tariffs are making it more difficult to do business overseas. News highlights: due to the dispute between the parent company Zhaikao Fintech and Taishan Equity, the Financial Supervisory Commission intervened to interview Chairman Hu Yujia, and asked Zhaikao to return the stored value amount and collection of funds and other data on a daily basis to temporarily stabilize the situation. E-commerce companies such as Momo and Pichome have resumed cooperation, but physical channels such as Carrefour are still suspended, mainly due to concerns about cash flow. Zhaikao actively visited the authorized shops to rebuild confidence, and the FSC stressed that it would ensure the safety of stored value and collection on behalf of others. Hu Yujia went to the Financial Supervisory Commission to explain the financial situation, denied the rumors of shortage of funds, and was willing to cooperate with the regulatory measures. News highlights: the 66-year-old variety show Big Brother Hyugwa stepped into the internet to set up a YouTube channel, the next one, accumulating nearly 400,000 subscribers. A few days ago, after he appeared at Luo's Hixiang's event, he drove a Bentley antique car worth 17 million yuan to many banks to do business, but he closed the door because he missed the business hours, and then went to the cafe to buy drinks and returned home. Despite having a net worth of more than 600 million, owning many properties and famous cars, Hyugwa still does it himself and shows his simple side. Recently, he has been busy with concerts and program shooting, and negotiated new program plans with China Television. News highlights: K-pop superstar G-Dragon, GD, came to Taiwan to sing for 3 days after 8 days, and made a surprise appearance at the Golden Pig Canteen in Taipei after the final show on the 13th to celebrate his birthday and help the bodyguard celebrate his birthday, attracting more than 1,000 fans to make a pilgrimage. GD appeared handsomely to interact with fans, not only taking off his hat and bowing, but also staged a hat trick to send love and pet fans to the end. The meal ended at nearly 1 o'clock in the morning, and the fans waited unabated, setting off the climax of the Taiwan trip. GD is expected to return to South Korea on the evening of the 14th, ending the 5-day and 4-night trip. News highlights: Lottie girl Dora, Xiao Weiwei, was involved in a wealthy businessman's extramarital affair and was in hiding for many days. Today, a weekly magazine broke the news that when Dora jumped from Uni President Lion to Lottie last year, the 200,000 liquidated damages were paid by a wealthy businessman, and the relationship between the two parties was not simple. Dora said at the time that she was paying out of pocket. Due to image considerations, the Lottie Ball Club will not renew her contract after the contract expires at the end of the year. News highlights: Sanyuan Energy Technology Co., Limited, Xiaogang District, Kaohsiung City, was alarmed by a fire alarm this morning, with thick smoke coming out of the factory and multiple explosions, resulting in 12 employees and 3 firefighters. A total of 15 people were injured and sent to the hospital, all of whom were conscious. The fire department dispatched robots to fill the rescue, and the fire continued to be controlled. The plant is the first super battery factory in Taiwan, and the cause of the fire and financial damage are still under investigation, and the takeoff and landing of flights at Xiaogang Airport have not been affected. News highlights: Chen Chongfeng, chairman of the Taiwan University Outstanding Youth Visiting Group to the mainland, was revealed to have sexually harassed female league members during the visit through birthday celebrations, including throwing herself on the bed and applying cream, and is suspected of having assigned outstanding looks to a specific team for many years to receive special care, which is described as a concubine selection system. In response, Chen Chongfeng responded that everything can be commented on, and emphasized that "I have no comment." News highlights: a Chinese man surnamed Jiao's internet celebrity Nanjing Hengxia disguised as a women's clothing internet celebrity to lure 1,691 men into sexual acts and secretly filmed and sold videos, was recently arrested by the public security, detonating heated discussions on the internet. Among them, "come and come" in the video has become a meme golden sentence, which unexpectedly made the breakfast restaurant Sister Hong's handmade egg cake early unrelated to Tainan pilgrimage by netizens, and Google comments were flooded, with messages such as "come here, let's eat egg cakes" and endlessly, making the store inexplicably involved in the turbulence of laughing netizens. News highlights: Huang Jialing, the wife of Kuomintang Nantou Mayor Zhang Jiachi, was revealed to have cheated in marriage, and continued to date her ex-boyfriend a man after marriage, and the two called each other husband and wife. In the past, Huang intervened in Man A's marriage and became pregnant, but after Man A divorced her, Huang married Zhang Jiachi. Recently, because he was dissatisfied with Man A's new love, Huang actually passed on a group photo and conversation record to choke woman B, which exposed the extramarital affair. Huang responded that he was only often contacted because of his interest in fish farming, and denied knowing that Man A had a new girlfriend. News highlights: a fire broke out in the early morning of the 14th at the Sanyuan Energy lithium battery factory in Xiaogang District, Kaohsiung, with a large amount of smoke coming out, and the fire department dispatched 46 vehicles and 91 people and robots to rescue them, causing 12 employees and 3 firefighters to be sent to the hospital with minor injuries. The fire has now been brought under control, and the Environmental Protection Bureau has detected a trace amount of hydrofluoric acid in the factory, which has been affected by non-toxic gases, and the air quality is being continuously monitored. Mayor Chen Kamai demanded that the whole factory stop work and strictly investigate the responsibility, and the Environmental Protection Bureau will impose fines in accordance with the law. People should avoid going out and keep doors and windows closed to prevent odors and air pollution. News highlights: the Legislative Yuan passed the Special Regulations on National Security Resilience in the third reading, set up a budget of 235 billion yuan, and required the general distribution of 10,000 yuan in cash by the end of October. The executive branch has not yet made a clear statement on whether to make a budget, stressing that it may cause debts to be left to future generations, and is considering not preparing a budget or applying for an interpretation of the constitution. The Blue Camp criticized that if the government does not enforce the law, it will be held accountable to the end, and questioned whether the government has foregone other key expenditures, saying that such a move may violate the democratic process and trigger a storm of recall and political confrontation. News highlights: in order to strengthen the risk management of digital accounts, China CITIC Bank announced that from July 28, the ATM withdrawal limit of the third type of MyWay digital deposit and digital securities account will be reduced from 120,000 yuan per day to 10,000 yuan, and the monthly limit will remain at 120,000 yuan, affecting about 730,000 households. The measure aims to prevent the risk of fraud, which is in line with the recent trend of financial institutions such as Chunghua Post to reduce their withdrawal and transfer limits simultaneously. At present, there are more than 14.23 million Category 3 accounts in Taiwan, accounting for nearly 56% of the total number of digital accounts. News highlights: US President Trump announced on the 12th that he would impose 30% tariffs on products from the European Union and Mexico, triggering trade tensions. Taiwan and India are not on the list for the time being, and may reach a handshake agreement with the United States, but the details have not yet been decided, and they may still face the risk of double-digit tariffs and the expansion of the scope of goods. The EU and Mexico have negotiated a higher tax rate, sparking discontent among allies and France threatening retaliation. Scholars are worried that the United States will lose its international credibility, and the outside world has questioned whether Trump has no intention of negotiating at all, but is just blindly raising taxes aggressively. News highlights: a man in his 40s sought medical attention with abdominal pain and was diagnosed with liver cancer because he was found to have a 3 cm tumor in his left liver. Although there is no hepatitis B and C, it has severe fatty liver caused by long-term drinking of large amounts of fruit juice, and the liver is deformed like foie gras. Physician Zhang Kunjun pointed out that fruit juice is rich in fructose, which is 100% metabolized in the liver and is easy to turn into fatty liver. Fatty liver has now become a new cause of liver cancer, and it can even skip the stage of liver cirrhosis and become cancerous directly, calling on the public to control sugar intake and be vigilant against the silent fatty liver crisis. News highlights: Wang Xinping, a smash hit girl singer in the past, became famous for Don't Ask Me Who I Am, and was listed as the polygram for Little Flowers with Li Ruiyan and others, and faded out of the showbiz after marriage in 2001. Recently, she made a rare appearance at the wedding and sang as a guest, which surprised the host Zhang Ziyazai. Zhang recalled that he was a fan of her when he was working part-time in 1993, and when he saw that the fairy spirit of the former goddess was still the same, he was moved to say that the temperament has not changed at all, setting off a wave of nostalgia. News highlights: actress Su Kexi, who has debuted for 20 years, recently shared her weight loss results, successfully lost 6 kilograms, showed her slender arms and S-curve, and aroused enthusiastic responses from fans. She admitted that her metabolism deteriorated after she was over 35 years old, and she had deleted photos due to her weight soaring due to a late-night snack, and she felt that she was old. She has successfully lost weight through exercise, diet modification, and metabolic supplements, and shares her weight loss secrets: get 8 hours of sleep and drink enough water every day, encouraging everyone to find suitable methods and persevere to achieve their goals in a healthy way. News highlights: the post-disaster power restoration in the Zhebei area of Tainan has entered the 7th day, and Taipower and support personnel have rushed to repair it day and night. On the evening of the 13th, when 6 Taipower employees were having dinner at Swejia, a male guest silently took out 2,000 yuan for them and quietly left, which moved the employees. The store said that it has been difficult to repair in the past few days, and thanked the enthusiastic people for passing on the warmth. Taipower pointed out that only about 4,000 households have not been restored to power, and it will make every effort to complete the last mile. News highlights: the Hongkuang 41 exercise entered the final stage of preparation, and this morning the Taiwan military used the Taipei MRT system for the first time to carry out underground mobile defense. The North City Military Police departed from Nengong at night, took the MRT to transport troops and supplies, and got off at Shandaya Sea and Longshan Sea stations to enter a tactical position to avoid the threat of air raids. The exercise highlighted the advantages of mobility in an urban combat environment, but also exposed potential risks such as the ability of the MRT system to be redundant in the event of a power outage, which still needs to be further evaluated and strengthened. News highlights: Tainan Jiakai High School girls' uniform with a blue navy collar and a dark blue pleated skirt is nicknamed Little Blue Blue because of its unique design, and has won the championship of the online voting for high school uniforms in Taiwan for 3 consecutive years, enjoying the reputation of the cutest girls' school uniform. Recently, Winter and Karina, members of the popular Korean girl group aespa, and the new Korean members of the Uni Girls cheerleading team, have appeared in this uniform, which has aroused heated discussions and fans. Jiakai uniforms have not only become campus representatives, but also promoted cultural exchanges, allowing the charm of uniforms to spread again and evoke many people's youthful memories. News highlights: Typhoon Danas made landfall in Bude, Chi on the 6th, bringing strong winds and heavy rain, resulting in severe disasters in the southern region, with more than 800,000 households without power, 650 power poles and 3 iron towers collapsed. Taipower's Chi District Business Office rushed to repair day and night, and as of the evening of the 13th, the power restoration rate reached 98.6%, and there were still 3,586 households to be repaired. Guo's Haimao, the deputy squad leader, did not see his son for 7 consecutive days, and yesterday he was briefly reunited at the repair site accompanied by his mother, and the picture was touching. Taipower stressed that it will continue to work in shifts to make emergency repairs, and reminded the public to check their home appliances after resuming power to ensure the safety of electricity. News highlights: today, 14th, due to the increase in moisture, there will be local brief showers or thunderstorms in the north of central Taiwan and Penghu, Kinmen, and Matsu, and there will also be a chance of thunder showers in various places in the afternoon. There is a possibility of localized heavy rain or heavy rain in the central and southern parts of the country from tonight to tomorrow morning, and continuous rain in the central and southern parts of the country from the 15th to the 16th, and showers in the afternoon in the north and east. Tropical disturbances may occur over the eastern sea of the Philippines in the next 3 to 4 days, and it is expected to move towards Guangdong, China through the Bass Strait on the 19th and 20th, and the probability of impact on Taiwan will be reduced, but the path still needs to be continuously observed. In terms of temperature, the high temperature in Taiwan is about 32 to 34 degrees, and the local area reaches more than 36 degrees, and the weather is sultry, reminding the public to protect themselves from the sun and replenish water. News highlights Mr. Chen Yanchang, the founder of Group Buying Network 486, broke the news on Facebook that the U.S. Special Forces have been officially stationed in Taiwan, especially in Kinmen and Penghu, and our country's Special Operations Forces jointly practice night raids and sabotage behind enemy lines, marking that Taiwan has become the forefront of the Free World Defense Line. He pointed out that this year's Hongkuang 41 exercise was the largest in scale, mobilizing 22,000 officers and men, and the whole process was closed, with live troops and live ammunition, and the U.S. military provided actual combat guidance, emphasizing the transformation of the Taiwan military into a modern combat force. Chen Yanchang harshly criticized the CCP's army for serious corruption, calling it the third of the rice buckets, and said that if the CCP invades, Taiwan will never fight alone and will fight back. News highlights a number of Kuomintang legislators are facing a recall crisis, and Niu Xuding, a member of the Darwin Blue Committee, recently criticized the recall group as garbage, and publicly named the Blue Bird for disorderly government, emphasizing that Darwin is not the back garden of the DPP. In this regard, scholar Ye Yuan counterattacked and raised 3 questions. First, he questioned the KMT, as the largest dictatorship in the past, but criticized the DPP dictatorship. Second, it is pointed out that it is natural for legislators who violate laws and disciplines to be recalled. The third is to directly point out that it was the Kuomintang that has caused chaos in Taiwan in the past 80 years, and refute Niu Xuding's accusations. Netizens mostly supported Ye's remarks, criticized the KMT for being ungrateful, and believed that the recall turmoil reflected its internal crisis. News highlights variety show recently went to the exterior of Buckley Memorial Park in Tainan and invited actors Zheng Renchuo and Dong Xishan to participate in the game. The host Hu Guo improvised as a director and asked the drama students and 2 artists to perform a sitcom, and the students spat on Dong Xishan, who played the corpse, which scared Dong Xishan into death and came back to life, causing laughter. In the competition, the courgette was hit on the head by a bird's egg, and the artist group experienced many egg drop challenges and failed. The basket lottery Black Lottery must team up with Dong Xishan, collapse and shout that he is unwilling to cooperate, and finally complete the task. The scene is full of fun. News highlights the largest recall in Taiwan's history will be voted on July 26, and the blue and green parties gathered over the weekend to promote tensions. Internet celebrity curator Chen Saihan has recently frequently assisted the blue camp legislators, and yesterday, 13th, publicly apologized to his former opponent Lin Jiaxin in the Anti-Evil Strike and Save Democracy event. The two have clashed many times in the past over disputes over e-commerce platforms and the price of bento, but Lin Jiaxin said that the national crisis is at the head, and he is willing to put aside his prejudices and join hands with the director to fight against the DPP, and called on supporters to unite and jointly protect democracy. News highlights JJ Lin's JJ20 Final Lap World Tour ended successfully in the Bird's Nest in Beijing, but in the last show, it was publicly revealed that he was diagnosed with heart problems in April 2024 and must be maintained by medication, which shocked and worried fans. He lamented that life was speeding up like an hourglass, questioning how long he could sing, but he still insisted on working hard to complete the performance. Lin Junja's company responded that it has received regular medical examinations, and will arrange sufficient rest and recuperation after the tour, thanking the outside world for their concern. When singing Exchange for the rest of his life, he once hugged his stomach with his back to the audience, suspected of enduring pain, showing professionalism. News highlights variety show King Wu Zongxian, Lulu, and Chen Handian have hosted variety show for 12 years, and completed the last episode of the recording on the 11th of this month, and the recording was not finished until 6 a.m. the next day. Wu Zongxian revealed that he expressed that he did not want to continue 5 years ago, and the show will be transformed into super hit, and he is still considering whether to return. Wu Zongxian emotionally said that the hosting work is hard, and it is inevitable that there will be reluctance, but he also enjoys more rest time, and emphasized that being an artist is like being a soldier, hoping not to disappoint supporters. At present, he is still hosting Variety Show Plays Big and will hold an 11th anniversary press conference. News highlights GD, Kwan's Hailong, came to Taiwan after 8 years and held the G-Dragon 2025 World Tour Ubermensch World Tour at the arena, with a box office of more than 200 million yuan in 3 days. On the evening of the 13th, he went to the well-known restaurant Golden Pig Canteen on Nanjing East Road to celebrate his achievement, attracting thousands of fans to gather at the scene, and the store mobilized a number of staff and the police to maintain order. GD arrived at 10:30 p.m., interacted with fans cordially, took off his hat to thank him, his purple hair was particularly eye-catching, and the atmosphere was warm, showing the charm of his idol. News highlights on the evening of July 13th, when the singer Eason Chan held the Fear and Dreams World Tour at Beijing Bloomage Live Wukesong Stadium, he accidentally stepped on the air and fell down due to the difference in the stage steps. However, Eason Chan quickly stood up, humorously said that he has meat, and continued to complete the performance, showing a high degree of professionalism. Some viewers suspected that someone was interfering with a laser pointer, while netizens called on him to pay attention to safety, while others speculated that his heavy costumes alleviated his injuries, and the overall accident did not affect the performance. News highlights. In the crowd, there is a category of girls who shine like stars, and become the focus of everyone with their unique charm and excellent connotation. Their names often contain the words Han, Xiao, Ling, Yun, Hui, Yi, Shi, or Wen, symbolizing wisdom, emotional intelligence and elegance. These girls are deep and introverted, smart or gentle and friendly, can be sensitive to other people's emotions, are good at communication and excel in life and work. With their positive attitude and sincere care, they become a warm support and inspiration to those around them, and they are dazzling and sincerely appreciated at all times and places. News highlights. Yang Ning and his wife, Melinda, announced in March that they would welcome their third child, and the couple took their 2 daughters and the baby to Okinawa for a vacation. Recently, Yang Ning experienced mild altitude sickness while working at Shangri-La, and shared a tired photo with an oxygen nasal tube in the community, emphasizing "I'm okay." The agent said he was gradually adapting to the highland environment. Melinda actively works in lives, wears bikinis to show off her pregnant belly, and also participates in G-Dragon concerts, showing a comfortable and beautiful image of a pregnant woman. The baby's gender will be revealed at birth, and the expected date of delivery will be about 2 to 3 months later. News highlights. A 45-year-old man sought medical attention with sudden swelling and pain in his left knee and fever, initially thinking it was gout, but after examination, Neisseria gonorrhoeae was found to be present in his synovial fluid, and was diagnosed with a rare form of gonorrhea arthritis. The patient was asymptomatic in the course of urethral discomfort, highlighting that gonorrhea can spread to joints throughout the body without symptoms. Urologist Cheng Weiming reminded that venereal diseases do not necessarily occur from the lower body, and those with unsafe sex should have regular checkups. If the joint is inexplicably swollen and painful, the possibility of infection should also be considered to avoid delaying treatment. News highlights. Pakistani 32-year-old actress Humaila Asghar died in October last year, and it has been about 9 months since the body was found in the apartment. The body is highly decomposed and close to a dry corpse, and the cause of death is unknown. The police originally ruled that he died of natural causes, but because the public filed a complaint suspected of murder, a special team has now been formed to investigate. The medical examiner said that there were no obvious external injuries to the body, and the police found that his communication had been interrupted since October last year, and investigated his relatives, friends, and bank accounts. The family denied the disconnection, hoping to find out the truth. Whose last contact was in a gentle voice message to a friend in September. There was no electricity in the apartment, the food was rotten, and the neighbors were not at home for a long time, so the smell went undetected. News highlights. Wang Nan, a 37-year-old former SBL player on the Kinmen Winery basketball team and former coach of HBL, recently returned home from a drunk drive in Dan District, Taipei City, and collided with a taxi in the reverse direction while passing through Taipei Bridge, resulting in minor injuries to both parties. The police tested 0.49 mg per liter for Wang Nan and 0 for taxi drivers. The Shillin District Prosecutor's Office has completed its investigation on suspicion of public danger and applied to the court for summary judgment. Wang Nan has attracted attention for slapping students and extramarital affairs in the past, and this drunk driving accident has once again aroused social concern. The public is reminded to prohibit drunk driving, and excessive alcohol consumption is harmful to health. News highlights. Kiana Lee recently launched a YouTube channel Na Easy, the first video to share a list of dreams, in which she hopes her daughter will not be recognized. Lee Kiana has a son and 2 daughters. The eldest daughter Gu Ying is 21 years old, similar to her, and is currently studying in the popular music department of the city department, and is participating in the talent show University Voice as a kicker. Gu Ying recently challenged her mother's song Never Came Back, and was affirmed by the judges and successfully promoted with her unique mid-bass. Lee Kiana respected her daughter's wishes and did not go to the scene to cheer in person, while Gu Ying admitted that she was introverted and afraid of life, and she was full of emotions when she sang, which was described by the show as opening a parallel universe. News highlights. Taiwan may be affected by a new typhoon over the weekend. Meteorological expert Lin Dean pointed out that a new monsoon low trough will form in the sea from the South China Sea to the eastern part of the Philippines, which is conducive to the development of tropical disturbances, and the impact time is about 18 to 20 days. The meteorological powder weather risk also said that there will be a tropical disturbance or tropical depression on the 16th, which may strengthen into a light platform on Friday, and the path will pass through the Bass Strait, and there will be heavy rain in the eastern half of the windward side, and heavy rain may occur in Taitung and Pingtung. The Central Meteorological Administration reminds the public to take precautions in advance and continue to pay attention to the latest meteorological information. News highlights. Due to the old drainage system, Lukang in Zhonghua was hit by Typhoon Dennis and the subsequent low-pressure zone, resulting in flooding of streets and backflow of houses, and Tianho Temple criticized the average annual flooding of more than 15 times in the past 5 years, which seriously affected the lives of residents. Tinho Temple pointed out that the current drainage design is 30 years old and cannot cope with extreme weather, and called on the county government to comprehensively improve the drainage system, not only to fill the holes, but to expand stormwater sewers, add pumping stations and detention ponds, and reorganize the drainage bottlenecks in low-lying areas, stressing that Lukang deserves a future that is not afraid of rain, hoping to improve flood prevention safety. News highlights China's mobile power brand Romos, due to frequent spontaneous combustion incidents in June, triggering a recall of nearly 490,000 units and the withdrawal of 3C certification, the company announced in July that it would stop production for 6 months and only pay 80% of the minimum wage, and employee dissatisfaction is high. The accident stemmed from a product quality problem at battery supplier Emprius, Wuxi, and the early top management was overly profit-conscious and ignored the warnings of the technical department. It is rumored that 5 core executives have absconded overseas, suspected of asset transfer and treated the company as an ATM, refusing to invest money to solve the compensation problem. Roma once rose rapidly with a low-price strategy, but now Tmall, Dobayo and other platforms have been removed from the shelves. Employees are facing the dilemma of no pay and layoffs, and the company has fallen into a serious business crisis. News highlights Taiwan stocks fell by more than 100 points on the 14th. The index back-tested the 5-day line support. Electronic stocks were under pressure and finance and production became the main force on the disk. In terms of financial stocks, CITIC Gold had strong sentiment on the first day of ex-dividend, and its stock price turned from low to high, showing an attempt to fill interest. CITIC Gold's dividend distribution in 2024 is 2.3 yuan, with an interest rate of more than 60%, and Taiwan Life Insurance, a subsidiary benefiting from profits in the first half of the year, turned losses into profits in June, making a big profit of 5.76 billion yuan in a single month. The overall 14 financial holdings made a total profit of 63.84 billion yuan in June, and the legal person is optimistic about the rebound of the profit momentum of financial stocks, and the funds prefer banks and life insurance groups, and beneficiary stocks such as CITIC Gold and Yushin Gold were named. News highlights the 10,000 yuan cash plan was passed in the third reading of the Legislative Yuan last Friday, stipulating that the distribution should be completed by the end of October at the latest, encouraging the market to buy gas and rush to domestic consumer stocks. Taiwan stocks performed well in early trading on the 14th. Wangpin, 2,727, rose nearly 8% to a new high after ex-dividend. Beifang Yunji, 2,753, and Lion, 2,731, also rose more than 6% respectively, and the tourism stock index rose more than 2%. The corporate expects that cash payouts will boost the consumption of catering, tourism and department stores in the second half of the year, especially during the peak summer vacation season. Wangpin's revenue continued to grow, Lion International Travel Service business was active, and both parties showed strong performance in market competitiveness. News highlights NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang said that the U.S. policy of promoting the reindustrialization of technology manufacturing is correct, which will help reduce dependence on other countries and reduce pressure on Taiwan. He emphasized that manufacturing is the key to economic growth and social stability, and supported bringing the industry back to the United States. In response to China's use of NVIDIA products, he believes that the Chinese military will avoid relying on U.S. technology due to the risk of being restricted. As for the development of AI, he believes that although it will affect some jobs, it will create new jobs and improve productivity, and AI can bring positive benefits to the research and development of new drugs and the treatment of diseases, and called for the development of unified AI safety standards around the world. News highlights TSMC, 2330, will hold a legal conference on the 17th, and the market atmosphere will wait and see. Recently, it has faced 3 major pressures: reciprocal tariffs, chip tariffs and appreciation of the new Taiwan dollar, which may affect revenue and gross profit margin, especially the appreciation of the new Taiwan dollar, which has a significant impact on the financial report. The second quarter may overdraft the momentum of the second half of the year, and the market will focus on 2nm mass production, AI orders, advanced packaging expansion and global new factory layout. Despite the short-term downside, NVIDIA's new chips drove the growth of advanced processes, and the legal person is optimistic about better-than-expected revenue in the second quarter. The U.S. Big and American Act provides a 35% investment credit to ease the pressure on building factories in the United States, but there are still uncertainties in the industry, and the results of the law will affect the prosperity of Taiwan stocks and semiconductors. News highlights as the Hongkuang exercise entered its 6th day, the first operational region conducted live-fire firing of more than 7,000 rounds of artillery in the early morning of Penghu, demonstrating multiple firepower. Clouded Leopard armored vehicles and 30 officers and soldiers were deployed at the mouth of the Tamsui River in northern Taiwan to block the first wave of sea blockades, and the Tamsui MRT station set up a second wave of defense lines to defend the key points leading to the Keelung River and Taipei's political and economic center. At the same time, the Tainan Bay Navy conducted a defensive mine-laying exercise, which President Lai Ching-te personally inspected and guided. The exercise aims to strengthen the defense capability of the Taiwan military and enhance the people's belief in protecting their homeland. News highlights on the morning of July 12. A man surnamed Zhang rode a modified motorcycle to run his girlfriend to the mountains on Linbi Highway in Xinbiping, and when he encountered a police raid, he crossed in reverse and accelerated to escape. The police arrested him in a nearby car park and found that he used a forged license plate, involving a total of 10 violations, including refusing to inspect and fleeing, modifying vehicles, etc., and fined him as much as 194,700 yuan. The man was handcuffed on the spot and was arrested in the face of his girlfriend. The police reminded that there are many people running on the BI highway during the summer vacation, and they call on riders to abide by traffic rules to avoid sky-high fines. News highlights: the women's football coach of Taiwan Normal University is suspected of asking players to cooperate with the blood drawing research plan, and threatening to deduct credits for those who do not cooperate, causing controversy. The school announced on the 13th that it had terminated the program and destroyed relevant materials, and the coach had been dismissed from his post in December last year and would not be allowed to lead the team in the future. Legislator Chen Piu accused the contestants of being forced to have blood drawn 3 times a day for 14 consecutive days, and that blood was initially collected by people who were not medically qualified. The university emphasized that the doctoral dissertation of the coach did not involve a blood drawing dispute, and has requested that the false claims be corrected, and promised to strengthen the management of teacher ethics education and research to protect the rights and interests of students and the integrity of research. News highlights: in the second half of the year, the global stock market is expected to remain unchanged, and the Taiwan stock market is expected to range from 21,000 to 25,000 points, and the AI industry will become the main axis of growth. Despite the continued uncertainty caused by U.S. China tariffs and exchange rate fluctuations, the market has gradually digested the negative news and investment confidence has stabilized. The United States is still the main destination of global capital, with strong momentum for technological innovation and corporate profits, especially in AI, semiconductors, and other related industries. In terms of Taiwan stocks, AI and related supply chain industries have become the focus of the market, and life insurance and domestic demand industries also have investment value. News highlights: U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to impose 30% tariffs on EU imports from August 1, demanding that the EU remove tariffs on the U.S. to reduce the trade deficit. European Commission President van der Leyen said the move would disrupt transatlantic supply chains and continue to work towards a deal, but did not rule out countermeasures. Germany called on the EU to negotiate pragmatically to protect the industry, while French President Emmanuel Macron strongly opposed Trump's tariffs and supported stronger countermeasures. EU member states will hold an emergency meeting on the 13th to discuss countermeasures, and may postpone the effective date of retaliatory tariffs to facilitate negotiations. Tensions between the two sides are heating up, and there is a risk of a repeat of the US-China tariff war affecting the global economy. News highlights: according to the latest announcement by the central bank, Taiwan's foreign exchange reserves reached $598.4 billion at the end of June 2025, a record high and an increase of $5.4 billion in a single month, indicating that Taiwan has strong leverage in global financial fluctuations. The growth of foreign exchange assets was mainly due to solid investment income, the appreciation of other currencies due to the weakening of the US dollar, and the active and stable exchange rate of the central bank. Global central banks have set off a gold rush to grab gold, and Taiwan holds about 424 metric tons of gold, ranking 12th in the world, and maintains a stable attitude as a safe haven asset. The proportion of the US dollar in global reserve assets has declined, and gold has become the second largest asset, indicating that the central bank's asset allocation tends to diversify risks, and enhance Taiwan's resilience to market volatility and geopolitical risks in the future. News highlights: the Kaohsiung Kwoto District Prosecutor's Office and the police cracked the case of little brother Ellie involved in the manufacture and sale of fake aphrodisiacs. Through 2 biotechnology companies, the gang produced counterfeit drugs containing ingredients similar to Viagra and packaged them as "My Brother is Fierce" health food for sale on the internet, making illegal profits of about 60 million yuan. In accordance with the Pharmaceutical Affairs Law, the prosecutor detained the heads of the 2 biotechnology companies and forbade them from seeing each other, and the younger brother Ai Li paid bail of 100,000 yuan. Arlie once claimed that the product was a health food, emphasizing that it was safe and effective, but it was actually involved in illegal counterfeit drugs, and the prosecutors and police were seriously investigating and expanding the investigation. News highlights: recently, there has been a heated discussion on the internet about Sister Hong, a sturdy man holding a condom when he entered the door but couldn't open it. Sister Hong intimately handed over scissors to assist, which aroused a warm response from nearly 10,000 netizens, praising Sister Hong for her gentle and feminine charm, like a beauty at second sight. According to the analysis of gender expert Xingxia, the key to Sister Hong's ability to capture a man's heart lies in her gentle attitude, emotional care, and stimulation of the need to be protected. Although there are rumors that Sister Hong may be involved in the transmission of sexually transmitted diseases, the police and the platform have refuted the rumors, and no one is infected with AIDS. Jianan was charged with the crime of disseminating obscene materials, and if he caused others to contract sexually transmitted diseases, he could face the maximum death penalty. News highlights: the Legislative Yuan passed the deletion of the special regulations on the allocation of 100 billion yuan for Taiwan Power and 10,000 yuan per person for the Universal General Cash, stipulating that the distribution should be completed by the end of October at the latest. Veteran artist Tan I-chen publicly opposed this policy and criticized it as a super bad policy. As early as the night of the third reading, Golden Horse actor Chen Wei also angrily criticized PU Cash on Facebook, and supported the July 26 general recall action, calling on the public to face up to the betrayal of the National Committee and the CCP forces. Chen Wei actively participated in the recall activities, preached on the streets with the group, and supported the recall of Kuomintang legislator Lai Shiveo, expressing strong opposition to the existing political status quo. News highlights: in January 2024, a human tragedy occurred in the eastern district of Taichung City. The man surnamed Yu returned home and witnessed his drunk brother violently beating his mother, and he lost control of his emotions and attacked with a bat for 2 minutes, resulting in his brother's death. Yunan immediately turned himself in, and his mother appeared in court to plead for mercy, saying that Yunan was filial and acted to protect his family. The Taichung District Prosecutor's Office originally sought 7 years in prison, but today, 14th, the Taichung District Court sentenced Yunan to 3 years in prison for domestic violence and homicide. News highlights: a fire broke out at the Sanyuan Energy Technology lithium battery factory on Chongchun Street, Xiaogang District, Kaohsiung City in the early morning of the 14th. The fire was fierce and a lot of smoke came out, and the smoke was still clearly visible even several kilometers away. A total of 15 people were sent to the hospital in the accident, and trace amounts of toxic gas hydrofluoric acid were detected in the factory, but it did not reach the control concentration and was not detected outside the factory. The Environmental Protection Bureau immediately sent a text message reminding residents in Dalingli, Sanlingli, Erlingli, Dianzhenli and Shanmingli in Xiaogang District to close their doors and windows, reduce going out and wear masks to prevent air pollution. The wind direction is northeasterly, and the pollutants will spread to the southwest, and the EPA continues to monitor air quality. News highlights: earthquakes off the coast of the Tokara Islands in Kagoshima, Japan, have been frequent, with more than 2,000 earthquakes felt since June 21 and 70 in a single day on July 13. The Japan Meteorological Agency warns of a weak earthquake with a maximum seismic intensity of 6. Guo Kaiwen, former director of the Earthquake Center, pointed out that according to fault models and epicenter observations, if an earthquake of magnitude 7 occurs, the tsunami will only affect Okinawa Island, and the impact on Taiwan, Shikoku, and Honshu will be limited. Although the Ryukyu Trench or the Okinawa Trough may cause a tsunami, the threat is mainly concentrated in the southern part of Kyushu, with little impact on Yunnan and other places in Taiwan, and the probability of a strong earthquake of magnitude 8 or 9 is currently low, and the world is in a relatively calm period. News highlights: the Mingcheng branch of Nobel Kindergarten in Gushan District, Kaohsiung City, recently broke out that the staff treated children roughly, and today, 13th, received a kindergarten teacher in Fengshan because the child did not take out the medicine bag, and slapped the girl 3 times in public, causing the girl's face to be red and swollen, and the mouth bleed, and the violence was all recorded by the monitor. Kaohsiung City Councillor Li Yaoi bitterly criticized this as a breach in the child care system, with insufficient education and security personnel and ineffective supervision mechanisms, which led to frequent violent incidents. She called on the city government to conduct a comprehensive inventory of kindergartens, improve manpower and salary conditions, promote a joint and several liability system, strengthen the emotional management and physical and mental health of teachers, and prevent the recurrence of similar child abuse. News highlights: when President Lai Ching-te went south to investigate the disaster a few days ago, he was asked by the victims to help remove large waste, and Lai responded that you can't rely on the Taiwan army for everything, which caused controversy. Vice President Xiao Mei-chin called on summer students to return to their hometowns to help on Facebook, and praised Taipower personnel for working day and night to repair power facilities and show the spirit of mutual assistance. She stressed that the government will continue to provide support to the affected areas and hoped that people would work together to restore their homes. News highlights: the recall of 24 Kuomintang legislators is about to be voted on, and the blue and green sides are fiercely canvassing. According to media personality Wu Zijia's analysis, according to the declining trend of President Lai Ching-te's polls and the support of about 5 waves of support from both sides, it is very difficult for the DPP to successfully recall more than 5 legislators, and it is estimated that it will not exceed 5 seats at most. Wu Zijia pointed out that although the DPP has actively propagandized, its stable support rate is only 36%, which is comparable to that of the KMT, and the key to victory or defeat lies in mobilization. The DPP's main campaign labels the KMT as a central common passerby, and its target constituencies are concentrated in the Taipei, Shuangbei, Dawen, and Taichung metropolitan areas, but the overall canvassing campaign still focuses on air warfare and lacks on-the-ground mobilization of legislators. News highlights: Shinkong Gold, 2888, merged with Taishan Gold, 2887, and will be renamed Taishan Shinkong Financial Holdings on July 24, with assets of 8.4 trillion yuan, becoming the fourth largest financial holding in Taiwan. Shinkong Gold completed the final transaction on July 11. The stock price closed at 18.3 yuan, and on July 14, it officially ceased trading and delisted, and shareholders can convert Shinkong Gold shares into ordinary shares and special shares of Taishan Gold according to the share exchange ratio. After the merger, the two parties plan to complete the integration of SITE in 2025 and the life, securities, and banking systems in 2026, and fully integrate their subsidiaries, entering a new stage of development. News highlights on February 29, 2000, a horrific murder case occurred in Aberdeen, New South Wales, Australia. Knight personally took her husband John Price killed, and even cooked his flesh for children to eat. Catherine and her husband had a bad relationship and had been violent to each other, and Price had warned to call the police if she went missing. Police found Price's headless body hanging in the living room, his head boiling in a pot, and human steak with vegetables in the oven. Catherine was sentenced to life imprisonment without parole in 2001, becoming the first female convict in Australia to be sentenced to life imprisonment and still serving her sentence. News highlights fatty liver disease is more than 50% prevalent in Taiwan, and it is one of the common liver diseases, and it may deteriorate into liver cancer. A man in his 40s sought medical attention for abdominal pain, and the examination found a tumor of 3 centimeters in his left liver, and he was diagnosed with liver cancer. The patient is of medium stature, without hepatitis B or C, but has severe fatty liver, because of long-term drinking of large amounts of fruit juice, and the high fructose in fruit juice is easily converted into fatty liver. Physicians pointed out that with the reduction of hepatitis B and C liver cancer by vaccines and drugs, the rate of fatty liver caused by liver cancer increased, and some patients skipped the stage of liver cirrhosis, so it is necessary to be vigilant and pay attention to the prevention and treatment of fatty liver. News highlights Nantou Mayor Zhang Jiaqi's wife Huang Jialing still called each other husband and wife with her ex-boyfriend after her marriage was exposed, and even suspected of being jealous and protesting to the other party's new love, and the extramarital affair was exposed. In this regard, Mayor Zhang Jiaqi issued a statement clarifying that the content was not true, emphasizing 100% trust in his wife, and criticizing the report for distorting and hurting the reputation, and reserved the right to legal prosecution. Huang Jialing responded that she and her ex-boyfriend only kept in touch because of common interests, and they have now cut off contact. The city government also said that the report was untrue and called on the outside world not to spread false rumors. News highlights in response to the Hongkong 41 and Urban Resilience Air Defense Exercise, Darwin Airport Company reminds passengers and their relatives and friends to pay attention to traffic and flight information from July 13 to 17, and arrive at the airport early on the day of departure. During the exercise from 13:30 to 1400 hours on July 17, flights will be normal, and passengers must cooperate with evacuation according to the broadcast and personnel guidance. The Terminal 2 observation deck will be temporarily closed, and buses and taxis will also be suspended. Passengers should check the airline and Darwin Airport websites at any time to grasp the real-time dynamics and follow the on-site guidance to ensure a smooth journey. News highlights Chinese internet celebrity Heng Zhi recently broke out a scandal about allegedly using free sex services to lure more than 1,000 men into condomless sex, and secretly filming sex videos and uploading them for profit, causing public opinion. In the video, Sister Hong calmly and gently asked the other party to deal with it because there were cockroaches on the ground, with a soft tone and considerate manners, which caused many netizens to exclaim that her emotional value was high and feminine. However, the controversy continues to expand because of privacy violations and public health risks. News highlights a fire broke out in the Sanyuan Energy Technology lithium battery factory in Xiaogang District, Kaohsiung this morning, with thick smoke coming out of the scene, and the fire department dispatched 46 vehicles and 91 people to rescue, and 15 people were injured and not in danger of life. Mayor Chen Kamai rushed to the scene, saying that the process area caused a trace leakage of hydrofluoric acid, with a maximum measurement of 0.774 ppm, and the Environmental Protection Bureau had issued a cell text message to remind residents in Xiaogang Dualai District to close doors and windows and avoid going out. The plant is a subsidiary of Taiwan Cement Corporation and is the first super battery factory in Taiwan. As air pollution continues to be monitored, the city government calls on the public to cooperate with protective measures. News highlights Fan Wiki participated in Singer 2025 and was eliminated early after poor performance, although it is rumored that she will participate in the breakout competition, and the returning singer vote event was held in the recent program, and she is also on the list. The voting was limited to 5 hours, and Lin's Hixuan won the highest number of votes and confirmed his return to the stage as a surprise singer in the 10th episode on July 18. The program emphasizes full open microphone and no sound repair, which is challenging. The second round of voting will be launched on July 19, and the list will be expanded to the 6th to 10th eliminated singers. News highlights actress Chen Ailen recently shared her love story with her husband Yan Ting Sheng on IG, revealing that the two met because of the show College Students, and their fate began 18 years ago. She joked that the show has a legend of if you come in, you will break up, and the two still kept in touch after they broke up and stayed with each other for many years. Yanting Sheng once said that if she was unmarried at the age of 30, she would marry her, but she found out that she was pregnant at the age of 29, and the two got married, from friends to life partners, and now they have a daughter, and their lives are happy and sweet. News highlights: former anchor Zhang Lingyu mourned the sudden death of his mother's best friend and aunt in the community, but he did not reply to the original appointment, and finally received a notification of the bad news from the other party's son, and the whole family was shocked and grieved. She recalls that her aunt grew up with her, always gave encouragement at important moments, and was an optimistic, kind, self-disciplined, and healthy elder. Zhang Lingyu lamented the impermanence of life, reminded the public to cherish the people in front of them, and wished the other party's family members to continue the aunt's free and optimistic attitude towards life. News highlights: Japanese actress Kira Ri became popular because of Spicy Teacher GTO, and announced her retirement from the showbiz on the 12th, ending her nearly 35-year acting career. She confessed that after 2 cases of cancer and chemotherapy, she realized the impermanence of life and decided to start a new life with her own self. She said that she has divorced her Taiwanese husband in 2023, and will focus on health and live a free life in the future, and will still keep in touch with fans through the community, thanking her for her years of support and companionship. News highlights: on June 26, the 36th phase of the Wilai Lottery opened the jackpot and 7 notes of the second prize, which was sold by the Taichung City Futures Lottery Bank, with a total prize of 1.753 billion yuan, and the winner won the lottery with a package bet of 800 yuan, but it was not claimed for a long time. Taiwan Lottery reminds that the jackpot of 1.738 billion yuan and the second prize of 7 notes of 2.14 million yuan per note are still to be claimed, and the redemption period is until September 26, and overdue is deemed to be abandoned. The Ministry of Finance appeals to the winners to make an appointment to receive the prize through the high-value prize redemption hotline as soon as possible to protect their rights and interests. News highlights: Taiwan was affected by a low-pressure belt today, 14th, with localized showers or thunderstorms in the early morning to the north of the central region, and brief thunder showers in the northeast and south-central mountainous areas in the afternoon. Affected by the southwest wind from Tuesday to Wednesday, the rain will increase in the afternoon in the central and southern regions, and the high temperature in the north can reach 36 degrees. On July 17, the moisture decreased, and there were still localized thunder showers in the afternoon. From 18 to July 20, the tropical depression approached, and the rain gradually increased in the eastern half and the Hengchun Peninsula, and there was heavy rain in Huadong and southern areas. News highlights: under the pressure of international economic and trade turmoil and Trump 2.0 tariffs, Taiwan held a forum to discuss industrial resilience. Minister of Economic Affairs Guo Zhihui emphasized strengthening the supply chain and strategic industrial layout, while the National Development Council focused on emerging industries such as AI and national defense. Enterprises such as Yushan Gold and Chunghua Telecom shared their financial hedging and global cloud network layout strategies. FHKI and industry representatives advocated global layout, diversified products, and digital innovation to address the risk of gray rhinos and strengthen transformation and international competitiveness. News highlights: the Taipei City Library announced the 2024 e-book borrowing ranking, which nearly doubled year-on-year, showing the rapid growth of digital reading. Mr. Toad Goes to the Psychologist won the championship, and the book on spiritual growth and financial management was the most popular. The most popular online discussions are The Three-Body Problem and Atomic Habits, and the rest of the books on the list include Get Rich Mentality, Keep Buying, I May Be Wrong, and so on. The data shows that readers' interest in the topics of psychological healing and financial freedom continues to increase. News highlights: Lin Junja was shocked at the final scene of the JJ20 final lap tour of the Bird's Nest in Beijing to reveal that he was diagnosed with heart problems in April 2024 and needed to take daily medication to control it, which attracted the attention of fans. Despite the discomfort during the performance, he continued to sing the entire stage. The doctor reminded that palpitations, chest tightness, and wheezing are precursors of heart disease, and people over 40 years old should be especially vigilant. To prevent heart disease, quit smoking, control the 3 highs, maintain an ideal weight, exercise regularly, and seek medical attention as soon as possible if you have symptoms. News highlights: heart health is life-threatening, with an average of 1 heart attack every 40 seconds in the United States. In addition to blood pressure, cholesterol, and other indicators, people can also self-monitor their heart status in 3 simple ways. 1. Stairs test: climb 4 floors for more than 1.5 minutes, medical attention is recommended. 2. Resting heart rate: 60 to 100 beats per minute is normal, and high is associated with heart disease risk. 3. Maximum heart rate calculation, 220-H, used to assess cardiac load during exercise. If the test is abnormal, you should seek medical attention as soon as possible. News highlights: many people are often confused when they see high-grade iodized salt and extra iodized salt in supermarkets. Taiwan Salt explains that high-grade iodized salt is general salt, which is suitable for pickling and washing vegetables and fruits. Special iodized salt is added with seawater concentrated mineral liquid to help enhance the flavor of the dish. Both contain iodine and are safe to consume. In addition, if you have a specific disease, such as kidney disease or thyroid abnormalities, you should choose a product that is suitable for your health condition according to your doctor's instructions.